Folks, welcome back. Welcome back. You're watching Alpha Investments. My name is Rudy in 2024. It's been the 9th year on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a very interesting year. Not what a lot of people expected, not what a lot of people were ready for, and definitely not what people expected the market to do. So, what's happening? Well, we've been through a lot on this channel in 9 years. This is year 9. This is the first time in 9 years on YouTube that we've had a situation where the market for old Magic the Gathering underperforms the market for the new stuff in which everybody is unhappy with. We've seen a lot of market cycles and turning and twisting, and I think this is definitely that moment in time that's really reflecting where time in the market really is outperforming people who attempted to time the market. I don't know anybody who called the bottom being October, November of 2023 for the Magic the Gathering world. And I don't know anybody who predicted old Magic to be flat and boring and new Magic from the last 5, maybe 10 years to start to continue its upward slow movement. When we look at a lot of products, everything from even like the War of the Spark era, the Throne of Eldraine, the Guilds of Ravnica, the Allegiance, original OG 2018 Dominaria. What's interesting about that is a lot of these things had dropped so much. Everybody online declared that was the end of sealed product. It's dead, it's useless. Hasbro leaned into it, they sucked the market dry, it's over with. And yet we are now getting ready to go into April of 2024, the 4th, getting ready to enter the second third of the year. And what's weird about it is the money continues to drip into these boxes and these products that were supposed to remain flat. Because if you take a snapshot and we adjust the parameters to only the last 5 years, everything in the world of Magic looks really bad. Because all you see is a big climb up, a crash, and now coming off the lows of a crash. So on the surface, if you set your time frame parameters to this window of 4 years, let's say, it makes it look like the Magic situation is to be avoided and terrible and bad. And then when people pick examples online of some of the sealed product, let's pick on like original Dominaria. That's something we don't talk about much. Or even like original Ixalan or Rivals of Ixalan. When we look at those product lines, it's weird because you'll see a box that was like $200, let's say, and you'll see it tank all the way down to like $100. But then when you look at the depth of the market, how we see, this is the weird thing that I think is confusing for a lot of people. When a box of cards, a sealed product of Magic or Pokemon, goes from $100 to $200, in the first time this happens, it takes a lot of capital, a lot of buyers. It takes a very strong upward momentum and force to do that. For example, here's a good example. So recently we've seen a huge move in Pokemon Sword and Shield Fusion Strike. So this box of cards for Pokemon has been out for many years. Okay, full disclosure, I think I maybe have 400 boxes of that particular set. I think it was even before the price increases. So cost basis, let's say $80 back then. And this product stayed at like $100, maybe $110. It stayed there for years. And then in literally 3 months, the product doubled essentially to, I think, because I've been getting blown up with Patreon messages on this, like Pokemon Fusion Strike is like $230 a box plus tax on TCG Player. Absolutely crazy. So $250 shipped. So a product that did nothing for 2 years, then takes 90 days and actually overdouble, has a 150% price swing, let's say. Let's just say doubles or 200% price swing. You know, it's like, okay. And that's what's difficult for people to understand. It reminds me of the S&P 500 and it reminds me of Bitcoin. You can have these windows of time where we all sit here for 1 year, 2 years, sometimes even 3 years, you know, in a bear market or a crypto winter or just an overall weak economy on Wall Street. And, you know, you can hold stocks and you can hold the S&P 500 and it does nothing. But then all of a sudden you have this window of time where it makes up for it or it swings so rapidly, it maintains the long-term average. And now is a huge moment where the amount of stores, specifically LGSs, versus normal people like you all and scumbag basement Timmy people like me, the normal LGSs were forced to sell most of their inventory from the last 2 years in Magic the Gathering at losses, okay? That is just kind of what happened. And these are the times that make me shake my head and say, you know, do you know how many store owners and managers of LGS all over the United States, if not the world, at least 1,000 LGSs worth of product at these stores were all dumped at either break even or slight loss or major loss. Let's go back to Magic. Let's pick on, so anyways, let me finish before we go on to picking on Boulder's Gate or I want to pick on some stuff. So looking at something like original, I don't know, War of the Spark or Dominaria or whatever, Insular, when these products, see, this is the weird thing. I'm trying to say this interesting. We've never really talked about this particular dynamic. When we talked about that Pokemon box, how Fusion Strike did nothing for so long and then it just parabolically raised, exponential, just crazy to the moon thing. Most Magic boxes, like when you look at a Magic set or a Magic box will go for 100, 105, 110, 115, 125. Once it goes to 130, maybe it starts jumping more, 130 to 150, maybe 150 to 170. The gaps of raw numbers, they kind of expand, but the percentages are the same. It confuses a lot of people because it depends if you talk in percentages or if you talk in raw numbers. But that kind of climb takes time usually, okay? Now, when we go through the bear market crash, you'll see very weird things. So on the way up, it took hundreds, if not thousands of boxes of sealed product to be sold to flush the market and move it up. But when we go through a crash, and this is something that's very important that I know myself and some other pretty big sealed product people follow. When we have the bear market drawdowns, okay, the drawdown is led by very thin, very shallow, very illiquid markets. Because in bear markets, the liquidity goes away. The liquidity of you trying to unload your Magic versus clicking a button on a stock is very different. The liquidity of selling a sealed product in a bad market can be very bad, very difficult, and the spreads can become very large on what it takes to get a buyer, okay? And that is a known fact. Everybody knows that. But what's interesting is when we have a $200 box of Magic, let's say, what's a good example? Commander Legends, original Commander Legends draft boxes. When those things popped up to, let's say, 150, it took a ton of sales to get it to go up. But then when we had the drawdown back to 90 to 100 in the crash, it didn't take much because all it took is one person to list 20 boxes. He can't sell it at 150, he puts it at 140, maybe 135. Then somebody else has 6 boxes, they list 6 boxes for 125. Then the third person comes along, lists it for 115. And then the fourth person says, screw it, 99. So you can have 5 people with like 30 boxes of Magic can drop the price, I'm going to use that very loosely, can give you the vibe of, oh, look how bad this is, and ha ha ha. It can give you the vibe of a major price decline or repricing when it's really not that big of a deal because the price didn't really move much. You had literally 5 people really wanting to raise capital and really undercutting each other, but you're in a bear market. Liquidity dried up, buyers are backing off, interest rates are high, and suddenly you have these dramatic price swings, right? But the thing is, it's really not that, it's not the same. Because when now, as you can see, when you go through a couple month period of exiting that bad market, the upticks happen really, really quick. And that's why we always say the S&P 500, the stock market, Bitcoin, collectibles, real estate, I don't care, whatever metric you want to use in context you want to swing, it tends to move quick. And people who've done this for a very long time know that, there's situations where it's like for me, and I know I'm not a good example because of my situation and financial strength, and I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and I'm able to handle and take the punches and the heavy bags and the memes, and so I'm not the best example, but I know for people like me, there's maybe a couple of us out there. Is that fair to say? I don't know, after the crash. I know for someone like myself, the biggest risk is not the downside risk. It's the swing up and missing it. And Pokemon Fusion Strike in the last 30, 60 days is a textbook example of this. I've had a ton of patrons messaging me, Rudy, I know you're the guy with all the Pokemon Sword and Shield sealed stuff. I said, well, you're a long-term patron. You were around when I ran all the Sword and Shield Pokemon sales through 2020, 2021, 2022, and they were all between $99 and maybe $119 a box shipped. And again, same old story. Why didn't you buy then? That's always the interesting conversation. So that brings me today. Let's talk about Baldur's Gate collector boxes. Okay. Actually, Baldur's Gate draft set and collector. Let's pick on collector because it's the biggest number. So Baldur's Gate collector boxes collapse. I paid $225 at release, and I sold them to patrons for I think $229, $239, $249. Okay, and I thought that was a great opportunity for everybody. I was wrong. Anyone who bought from me lost money. All the product I sat on, I lost my ass. We all lost. That's just what happened. But here's what's interesting. Baldur's Gate collapsed all the way down to a low of $95 to maybe $105 a box during the Amazon dumps and the peak collapse maybe a year ago. And now you look at Baldur's Gate collectors, and these things went from a low of 100. They are back to 170 plus tax on TCG Player. That is about 190 shipped to your door for an actual box out the door. We went from a $100 box to 170 plus in like a couple months. That is a massive, not normal market behavior, okay? But the reason for that is because on the way down, anyone who had Baldur's Gate collectors just dumped it all and gave up. And now the market is thinned out so much that we're seeing, all it takes now is a couple people buying some collector boxes. If some Rudy 2.0, Timmy basement third floor ball sack dynasty, whatever, if one person goes out and I say, I'm going to go on TCG, I'm going to buy 60 boxes of Baldur's Gate collectors. Look what that would do to the price. I don't have it in front of me, and by the time you watch this video, it's going to change every day, but I'm going to assume if somebody bought less than 100 boxes, I'm calling 60, of Baldur's Gate collectors on TCG Player, you would push the price to probably $200 or over $200 a box. That is how much the market has been repricing and shifting, okay? Another great example here, Infinity collector boxes. Collapse, $100 a box. Infinity collectors, all the way back to 170 plus tax on TCG Player. Absolutely incredible price swings and upticks. And again, this isn't anything to brag about because again, originally, we as stores paid 180s for collector boxes and we were selling them for probably $199 or $209 or $219 to make $10 a box or something. And any customer who bought them isn't making any money. And all the inventory I'm sitting on, I haven't made money. I've lost 20, 30, 40, 50% of the money, right? But to sit here now and say, wow, this is really coming back way faster than everybody thought. Because I'll be the first one to be honest with you all. This time last year with Magic 30, this inventory that I was losing, my inventory value was dropping 7 figures, millions. And I was like, this is going to take years to come back. The damage in the Magic 30 and this overprinting and the lack of willing to cut print runs. Hasbro pretty much just said, fuck everybody, we ain't cutting print runs. And eventually, they realized they didn't have a choice because everything was collapsing. And by the time we got to Q4 of 2023, the pre-orders and stores were refusing to pre-order. We were running into Ravnica Remastered collectors, and Wizards had to make posts and saying, distribution, tell stores, this is it. Like, they had to go out of their way to try to get stores to do pre-orders. That's how bad it got. And Wizards had to redo everything. They had to adjust print runs, adjust allocations, supplies, and they did. And it's working. It takes time, but as I said a year ago, the companies that are willing to adjust and cut the print runs will survive and they will flourish. You have to take a temporary revenue reduction. You have to weather the storm and you will make it into the next market cycle. Well, guess what, folks? Ladies and gentlemen, and goofball Timmys out there, we are in the new market cycle. It started December of last year. We are 5 months in, and it has been extraordinarily powerful. And ironically, this market cycle is not about old product, not about Rudy's sealed vintage collection and sealed graded cards and all my old raw cards. Those haven't done shit. It is literally all the performance I have experienced has been upticks on all my modern new sealed Magic and Pokemon. Actually, even a lot of the white sets and even the Flesh and Blood, everything across the board we have had has been products from the last 5-10 years. Okay. And I hate to say it, but Wizards of the Coast reduced print runs, tightened everything, and now they're getting the rewards for it. And this is what we had talked about last year. That's why I was screaming at a camera about that whole thing. Because the game piece thing and the mentality and this bizarre mindset was fracturing and destroying the system, and to the point where LGSs were literally refusing to order like a new Magic product, like Ravnica Remastered came out, and stores were like, yeah, I'll take 6 boxes of collectors. I'll take a case. Like the pre-orders were so low. It did substantial damage. And now, Wizards made a good product. Ravnica Remastered was a great product. Now Ravnica Remastered collector boxes. As of the filming of this fucking video, Ravnica Remastered collectors are hitting almost $300 a collector box before they're on TCG Play right now for like $285 plus tax. That's like $305 shipped. The product's 4 months old, and it's at record highs. Like, this is what happens when the corporate behavior finally kicks in, and now we are feeling the impacts of the changes. Look what happened to Ixalan collectors. I didn't think they cut or adjusted back then, but nobody had confidence in it. Ixalan collectors, best percentage performing collector box in the history of Magic, based on the time frame. You cannot say there is another collector box of a standard Magic set. Remember, Throne of Eldraine 4 in 2020, it's when we had a collector box. It's the only collector box of a standard Magic set that was readily available, came out $189, $199, nobody wanted it. Terrible pre-sales and orders on TCG Player. $300, 50% price increase in 6 months. That's incredible. And guess what? Unlike other things, it's not a bubble. It's not pumped up. It's not evil Rudy buying and selling to his left nut. It's legitimate, bro. Supply is non-existent. And it's not coming back down anytime soon. We would need a whole bear market crash to draw that thing down. And if it does, you better bet your ass people like me are going to buy it, or anybody else out there should buy it. Because the lack of supply, the drawdown will be so shallow, it's going to be like, oh, you bought 6 boxes? Boop, there's going to swing the price. And that's where we're at. Look at what's happening. Baldur's Gate from 100 to 170 collectors, okay? Crimson Vow set boxes, over $100, okay? I mean, Dominaria Remastered, oh, the crash, the worst offender of being overprinted, Hasbro destroyed it. I had 10 messages from Patreon saying, Rudy, you got to mention Dominaria Remastered collector boxes. That was the Amazon destroyed toxic product. Collector boxes, back to 200 or 190s. That was the worst one, from like down to 100. It was the worst destroyed over thing dumped Amazon. That was the textbook toxic thing. So again, we look across the board. When you have a widespread adjustment like this, it's not tied to any one product. That means this is an overall broad market repricing, and money and capital across the board is flowing back into Magic the Gathering. And yeah, I know people don't want to hear it. It's flowing back into new product, single cards, and new sealed product. As of right now, unfortunately, most of Rudy's money in vintage product is not seeing a lot of upticks in bids. It's off the lows, but we are not seeing nearly the excitement in upticks as we are seeing in new stuff, which is a very strange thing to say. Because again, everybody knows, come on, Rudy's only buying collections of old Magic and he dumps the new stuff, right? Right? That's what we should, look what he does, not what he says, right? Well, we are in this new market cycle where this is the new rules of the game. The new product is the thing, okay? It may be artificial scarcity. It may be pumps and dumps. It may be new marketing. It could be cutting print run, adjustments in management. Whatever the variable or the sum of all the variables are, this is what's happening. And the trend is your friend until the end, when it goes around the bend and punches you in the face. And this trend is very powerful in this market cycle. And I don't see it changing anytime soon because Wizards Hasbro, being run by Papa Hasbro, with Dr. Cox now running Hasbro, he doesn't have a choice. He had to cut, I told you all months ago, he had to cut print runs. Cynthia and Mark Bottomwater, or Middlewater, whatever he is now, and Chris Cox didn't have a choice. Everybody was, Hasbro loses billions, they sold that stupid E1 crap, their sales are down. You can laugh all you want. But again, if you're running a company, you want to write off the losses, show the $1 billion and write down losses. You want to take all those hits now. Adjust the print runs, lower your gross sales revenue, make your margins tight. You want everything to look bad because you want to flush that shit. And that's what they did. And, well, that's where we are. And I'm incredibly bullish on Magic, on Pokemon, on Weiss, on One Piece. And yeah, I know, Disney Lorcana. I'm impressed. Still not carrying it, but I'm impressed. And of course, Flesh and Blood. And look what's happening. Across the board, all of these product lines in the world of cardboard, we are continuing to build a very strong foundation for 2024 and going into 2025. And I know there's always people every month, the recession's around the corner, the next big crash, the big one's coming, everything. The people who are, we call the full-time perma bears, the people who are always bearish, the world's ending. I'm not like that. Yes, we're going to have crashes. Yes, there's going to be more crashes. Yes, more people will lose money in products like Carlos Manor. There will be more in the future. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Carlos Manor was amazing. No, it crashed. It did bad. It was a weak set. I still like it. I think the flavor's fun. I like the invisible ink and everything. I like the theory behind it. But the market rejected it, and it's Magic's weak product of this new cycle so far. Are we going to have more collapses? I don't know. I can't predict the future. Our job here is to report to you all, talk about what I think is going on, discuss these movements on the prices, and try to figure out what's going to happen next, which is very difficult to do. So I'm just blown away by the strength of everything. Like, I'm not going to talk much about like the Pokemon side of things or the Weiss side of things. Everybody knows Weiss makes sets with chicks and anime girls with giant boobs or everything. Azure Lanes and Hollow Lives and certain, Bunko Babe. They're always going to be super successful. And more of them are going to come, and they're all giggity, and they're all going to do really well. This is a serious video. Don't get too giddies. I see that grin in the back. But, they're going to continue to reinflate and do well. And some of these Weiss sets from the last 2 years, there's almost non-existence. There's not even a case of 18 of some sets left on the open market. They're going to recover. It is what it is. It's just a matter of when. Nobody's arguing if it's going to. The argument remains how long and when, which so far I've gotten wrong. Everybody's gotten wrong. So to sum up this video in Magic, I just cannot believe right now we continue to see, I guess I keep waiting because the uptick in strength has been so strong for Magic products from 2020, 2021, 2022. The overprinted COVID-era products. I'm looking at Strixhaven, Adventure's Forgotten Realm, Draft and Collector boxes, the Boulder's Gate, Commander Legends 1, all-time, was it? Commander Legends 1's like 150 plus that. I think it's the highest it's ever been, isn't it? Which is crazy. Even the collector boxes, that all just said, oh, that's it. It's over. They're not collectible anymore. They overprint them. It's really wild, folks. It's a really wild thing. Even boxes from 5 years ago, the Guilds of Ravnica, the Ravnica Allegiance, the ones that were creeping up to 150s, and then the bear market wiped them out and reset the whole Monopoly board back to $90 to $100. And everybody was like, oh, see, that's it. I knew this was a bad move. And now those are climbing back up from the 90 to 100, back to 110, back to 120 plus tax. And they're going to continue to drift back to the 130, and they will hit their 150, and they'll hit new highs, and they will make it to $200 a box. See, that's interesting, because on those era boxes, because of the timing of the climb, the crash, and now resetting, if you take that data and you kind of look at a time frame and you set the parameters there, those era products look awful. It's like, oh my God, I bought a $80 box from Rudy, and it's been 5 years, and it's only 120. Well, technically on a percentage scale, it's really not that bad. That's still like 5 to 10% a year. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's not like some dramatic went to zero internet meme. But it's really not bad. But that particular era product looks worse because it went through the bust in the timing of the schedules of all this booms and busts of the market cycle. But now, when we look at product from like 2021 or 2022, it's like, okay, this is interesting. Because when we look at Actually, even like 2022, 2023, like Kamigawa Phyrexia, which if you're watching this, obviously, as you know, I just removed Kamigawa and Phyrexia from the $89 shipped draft box sale. And I carried those products for over a year, offering to patrons for $89 shipped. And I finally stopped selling those two, and we're getting ready to replace those with, I want to bring on Baldur's Gate Draft. I know, I'm buying more. And I want to bring on, actually, the new Lost Caverns of Ixalan for $89 shipped to offer to patrons. Now, demand for Ixalan is going to be really high. We launch this in the next few days for our patrons. So I'm probably got the limits like one box per month or something for the first. We're going to have to throttle it because the demand is just way too high. I can't get enough to do it. But still, even if you can get one box, we'll limit it to one or two. We'll see how it goes. And then we'll raise the limit as the months go on and everything. But it's just, it's just difficult to get. But, I'm looking at this, I'm going, okay. The people who bought all that Baldur's Gate collectors for that 100 to 150, people who bought the Dominar Remaster collectors, because when they collapsed down to 100 and everything, and now they've almost gone back to 200. The people who bought Infinity, Streets of Capenna draft boxes, 40, 50, 60, all these, back to 89, 80, what a TCG price, $80 for a draft plus tax now. These really bad products that everybody gave up on is becoming a really fascinating story, okay? And specifically, the Crimson Vows, the Infinity, the Baldur's Gate, the Streets, and what was another one? I'm not really going to say Kamigawa, Phyrexia, March of the Machine, Brothers War, Jumpstart. Those are all. Jumpstart 2022 is the next. By the way, you guys know Jumpstart 22 is about to disappear. And that's another one. Like, I've been getting blown up on Patreon about that. People have been buying the shit out of those stupid $89 boxes. It's the same thing with Infinity and Streets. I mean, it's crazy. And when we're in this new era with play boxes, and how expensive they are, I'm like, if play boxes are supposed to be $120 from distribution, okay, and stores are supposed to sell play boxes for $130, $140. Isn't anybody sitting back and realizing how attractive Magic draft boxes are from the last 5 years? From even if you were buying from Creepy Rudy for $89 shipped, do you not realize how attractive that is? Magic's resetting the pricing of these products, okay? And these older products that all fell apart that are really good, I don't know. To me, I'm looking at like Karlov Manor play boxes, which I guess have finally stabilized. And I'm looking at the new Outlaws Thunder Junction play boxes, which, by the way, I will not be carrying at release. We'll be doing some openings of Thunder Junction collector boxes. And if you're a patron wondering, like I said, forewarning everybody in advance, we are about to hit April, which means in the next 7 days, you're going to start seeing the Sorcery reveal videos on YouTube and patron messages on the playmat reveal artwork and the Sorcery promo card. We're going to be doing Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the collector boxes, and the commander decks. We will not be doing play boxes until the market readjusts its expectations. The market is simply rejecting the play boxes in the higher price point right now. It's going to take more time. Now, how this is going to work, I'm going to give you all my opinion. In the next 6 months, all these draft boxes, the Timmy idiots on the internet said was trash, overprinted, the landfills, Pinkertons, Rudy pump and dump, Timmy, all these memes and jokes and words and, scalping and, I don't know, any derogatory stuff you can think of. We are going to see over the next, before the end of the year, so 6 to 9 months, okay, all these draft boxes are going to go over $100 a box. You heard me. When that happens, the market is going to be more accepting to moving forward with the play boxes at the 120s, 130s. Until all these old boxes appreciate in value and go over 100, which is coming, the market's expectations will then adjust. Right now, for example, let's chill for myself. Why would you pay $130 a box for Outlaws of Thunder Junction Manor shipped for the new set, for $130 for a new play box, when you can buy if let's say you're a Rudy patron, I got to, hey, I got to sponsor myself. Why would you buy $130 play box when you can buy $89 ship Brothers War, March of the Machine, okay? Crimson Vow, I know it's a meme at this point, but dude, look at some of the cards in the set. They're getting, wow, there's some game pieces are getting pricey. Why is the game piece army letting the single cards go up? Where are the game piece army? Why are they keep pushing prices up? I mean, why would you not just buy like Streets of Capenna, Unfinity, March of the Machine, Brothers War, Wilds of fucking Eldraine. That's interesting. Any of these things. Why Boulder's Gate? Why would you take a $130 play box that's going to be in print for 2 years when you can buy old, going out of print, actually already out of print, they're just flushing out what's left, $89 old boxes. And that's what's going to happen. That is the Rudy forecast analysis. So number one, I'm shilling and pumping myself. Number two, the market is going to accept play boxes with open arms once all these draft boxes skyrocket in price, and that's going to happen this year. That is my opinion. That's my forecast. Based on the sell-through rate and the demand of draft boxes of people just buying on TCG Player, not on the promotional cashback, just a normal day. People are buying them for 90 to 110 shipped already, all day long. Just so you all know, I am moving 60 to 120 draft boxes a day right now. I didn't think this. I bought these in these heavy bags for myself in long term because I wanted to be the only one left in the next 3 to 5 years holding this dead COVID overprinted garbage era, the stuff with all the special smart people on the internet said. I wanted to be the only one holding it. And now suddenly I'm moving like almost 1,000 boxes a week. A month, I apologize. 60 to 120 a week, so it's like 600 to 900 a month kind of thing. And I'm sitting here going, I am not going to be able to maintain keeping all these items in stock to the end of the year. I'm doing the best I can. I just pulled down Kamigawa and Phyrexia, but I still have like 8 other boxes, 89 ship. I'm going to try to keep it going as long as possible. But we are not going to make it to the end of the year, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way. I'm not going to be able to order cases and pallets of Jumpstart 2022 in 2025, okay? I'm not going to be able to get Kamigawa in 2025. Unfinity and Crimson Vow, the stuff that's worth zero. These products are going to go up. And if you strip emotion on the conversation, the data is there. And I don't know why anybody would even disagree that going into 2025, when a play box is 120s to 140s, anyone thinks an $89 draft box is a ripoff. That just says that you're just, simply put, you're uneducated and you haven't been in this industry a long time. Because once that ocean level rises and all those ships rise up and get repriced, then the market's going to move on to play boxes because these old boxes are going to be 100, 150 a piece. And when that happens, well, I don't want to spend $130 on a box of Streets of Capenna. I'd rather just buy the new Magic set for $130. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. That's my opinion. So thanks for this conversation, folks. I hope you all enjoy this. Most important takeaway of this video is 2 things. Number one, all the money flowing back to the Magic. And the most important thing we talked about today, which we haven't talked about before, is the rise of many Magic products takes tremendous capital and volume on the open market. The fall of a Magic box in a bear market is very thin and due to lack of liquidity and very illiquid. So they tend to recover and uptick quicker the second time than the first. That is the most important part of this video to understand. And last but not least, again, thank you all. This channel is, again, I take no outside sponsorship. I do this full time, 60 hours a week, because I have all the beautiful patrons like you all and the viewers who just watch this channel and all the people who hate watch this channel. I appreciate you all. You're the ones that get me that $10,000 a month YouTube ad revenue check for just watching this channel. I appreciate it. Even if you just click the video, just a thumbs down, and the more negative comments below, the better. It gets more engagement, helps the algorithm and the channel and the views. I appreciate you all, even the people who don't like me. Free hugs for you, but no mouth hugs. But just understand going into April, everybody. Yes, $89 Ixalan. Sorry, it's going to have a limit of 1 or 2 boxes to make sure I don't get blown out and oversold. It's going to take time to get that built. Number two, Sorcery reveals are going to be starting next week. Buckle up, buttercups, when you see the playmat artwork. And of course, this, I hope it doesn't get censored when I show the artwork of the card. I am a little worried about that. I'm a little worried that we're going to have some pushback on YouTube and people reporting the video when they see the artwork of the Sorcery promo. I hope we don't run into issues with that, because people are just dumb as shit in this world and they're uneducated. So we have that kind of thing coming. So you will see a reduction in YouTube videos because we're going to be absolutely slammed. And of course, the Magic the Gathering Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the Western set, which apparently is serialized Eldrazi, I heard? Or no, no, that's Modern Horizons. I was like, man, that'd be awesome. The wanted cards and the posters. So we're going to have a lot of crazy stuff coming. Hope you all are excited. Thanks for joining me. We got some bad weather coming. Oh yeah, end of the video. The background. Just took delivery of this beautiful new painting. Came from a museum. I don't give too many details because I don't want people to contact and get my name or last name or anything like that. Let's see here. I don't know what that is over there. I'm sure nobody knows it. I can't really talk about that. It's a special thing coming. Beautiful prism with the flesh and blood over here. Number limited edition, 69 out of 100. Thank you, James and LSS. Fucking amazing thing ever. We got a Charles Mere Webb, one of my favorite oil painting artists down here. So we found this one. This Charles Webb painting is about 1892 and pretty rough condition. He's going to have be repaired. I got to send it off to, there's a couple ladies I know. I send them off. They do museum restorations. It costs like $1,000 and they'll restore the painting. They got to take the old yellowing varnish and certain things. We got to have it restored. There's some damage to it. And, oh, we got a little PCG thank you box up there. The Perfect 10. We got a little fancy thing up there. And I got a gift of there's a card in it that was gifted to me. That was very sweet. And that's about it. Yeah, that's an actual TV, but we use it for background music, like piano music and calm stuff for working. And like I said, I don't live at this location or anything like that, but we work here and we use it for calm background, kind of cafe piano music. I think that's about it, everybody. God, I'm so excited to share the Sorcery stuff with you guys. Like, I love Sorcery. Eric, Simon, I love you guys. But bro, it's been 5 months I've been trying to get this stupid thing together and waiting and delays and getting it. But Eric and Simon want Sorcery. They want the promo card to be as best as possible. Everything to be as good, this and that. And I respect that, but oh my God, it's been a painful wait. So I'm just clawing to reveal this stuff to you all. It's just such a big deal. And yes, folks, so a couple things. The Sorcery sale, I might as well say it in this video. It'll be limit 1 per patron. And it's going to be a 30-day ship time. So I'm going to get bricks of like 100, I think is what we're going to do. Every time I get a brick of 100 slabbed cards from PCG for the promo, we're going to ship out another 100 orders. So we should be able to get about 100 because, again, we don't want customer orders to fall behind. So we're probably going to get I'd say we'll probably be able to get about 100 slabs and 100 kits out per day is kind of the goal. So it's going to take about 20 days to get all 2,000 kits out. It's going to be limit 1 per patron. Yes, military, vets, first responders, and they will get early access by a few hours, just like last time. And yes, all the patrons who are paying by crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, will also get an early access by a few hours. But again, limiting to 1 and having 2,000 kits instead of 1,000. I do not expect to be an instant. Now, last time we sold out in like 3 minutes. And it was a disaster. It took me a month to deal with it. There was problems, everything. The demand was off the chart. So I'm hoping this time with 2,000 kits. The problem is, this time we have a special gorgeous playmat added to it. And the promo card this time, to me, is fucking 10 times better. So the issue is, we sold out in 3 minutes, and there were over 1,000 additional patrons wanting to buy it that couldn't. So I'm very nervous, and I'm warning you all in advance. I'm hoping it doesn't blow out immediately, but there's still a chance because, again, we're going to be pretty much doing almost identical price to last time. We'll raise the price by a couple dollars so nobody knows the exact marker. But again, I think last time was like $670, but the price is still going to be below $700. We're going to keep it in that same price range. I'm not going to give the exact number, otherwise so people can send payment early. Without revealing the number early, you won't know, so that everybody has a fair chance. So we're going to keep it pretty much the same price. But this time there's a special playmat and a piece of art with like 5 beautiful human beings on it that are just beautiful works of art. And I hope it goes down as a legendary, infamous moment in sorcery. And I hope it gets shared and spread and drawn all over the internet. So it's massive marketing for sorcery and everything. And I hope it's very successful. And I hope you all enjoy it because it's 5 months in the making. And then the goal is to launch this in about 2 weeks from now, and to spoilers and launches and videos coming next week. And the goal is to, by the end of April, to have all the kits shipped out and we have it all wrapped up and done. And then we can finally get PCG back on track. I haven't done any videos on PCG grading or the player slabs, everything going on, because we've been absolutely slammed busy. Record numbers, record grading, record submissions from you all. And we have not done any flesh and blood like vendor booths or advertising with PCG. We haven't, because in the future we want to have like a booth at magic events, flesh and blood events, and cover it in fucking slabs. And I want to make a massive thing. And the problem is we need to grow slow and steady. I'm not going crazy. We have plenty of time. It's a long-term plan, but right now we're already hitting record numbers of grading and growth and everything. It's just been, we got the new updated PCG website. It's been smooth. Customers are loving the new order entry. It's been a really good, amazing thing. So you will not see much more advertising or more blitz or specials or anything with PCG until probably summer, because between the sorcery, which is 2,000 cards being slabbed in a couple of weeks, plus we are doing, I don't want to give exact numbers, but we are definitely in the thousands now of grading, slabbing cards per month. The most we've ever done, the company's ever done. So it's been really an eye-opening experience. So appreciate everybody. I know it's a long video, but I just want to have a good talk with everybody today. And again, don't forget, best part of this video, I know Sorcery, Rudy, be a Rudy patron, send me messages, tell me you love me, yeah, support me, yeah, we know. But the most important part of this video is, I don't care if you subscribe or thumbs down, that doesn't mean anything, that's stupid, that's very us. But remember, it takes a long time for prices to rise. But illiquid bear markets and lack of liquidity draws them down really quick. But remember, the second upticks always happen faster than the original upticks. That's the most important lesson. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate all the amazing people out there. Life is a beautiful thing. Have a great day. It's been a while, so we'll end the video on Rudy's penis. It's been a while.